heads up for restaurant and franchise leaders listening. The Restaurant Franchising and Innovation Summit is coming up March 16th through the 18th in San Diego. If you want practical ideas around growth, tech, and operations, this is a great one to attend. Head to franchisinginnovation.com and use the promo code podcast for 20% off. Welcome to the Pizza Marketplace podcast. I'm Mandy Detwiler, editor of Pizza Marketplace, and I'm here today with Joe Carlucci, a world record-holding pizza maker and pizza dough thrower with Valentina's Pizzeria and Wine Bar out of Alabama. Joe, thanks so much for being with us today.
Well, thank you for having me. It's an honor.
Well, let's chat a little bit at first about your pizzeria. Tell me about how you got your start.
Well, I got my start back in New York with my brother-in-laws in the early 90s. I worked for them growing up, and then in 2000, I met Tony Gemignani. That pretty much put me on the map and where I am today.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about your pizzeria. When did you open your pizzeria? What's your background, and do you have history with pizza? I know you do.
Sure.
Tell me a little bit about how Valentina's got its start.
Okay, so Valentina's got its start in 2000, midst COVID. I actually opened during COVID. I had a food truck prior to that, and it was Joe's World Famous Pizza. And then as COVID kind of like was phasing out, I did really well during COVID because, it was a lockdown. So I would go to subdivisions with my food truck, and I would do 11 to 1 and 4 to 6. And I would sell over 500 pizzas a week. And I did that for 3 months, and I saved every dime, saved $50,000 in 3 months.
Wow.
And then the commissary where I prepped the food was available still, and I changed the commissary into a brick and mortar. I picked up the phone, I called my daughter's mother, and I said, I'm thinking about going back into the brick and mortar. Do you think Valentina would have a problem with the pizza place being named after her? She goes, let me ask. And I just hold her screaming yes in the background. In 2000. And we started with 12 employees, and now in a 1,500 square foot building. And now we have a standalone with 190 seats, 50 plus employees.
Now you moved from your smaller area to the larger area. Tell me a little bit about that move.
Well, when I opened in 2000, I didn't know what to expect. I had a lot of people coming in, friends, customers, just asking me like, why did you pick this location? It's literally across from a cotton field. And I just said, this is where God put me, and I'm going to, try it here first. It was low cost to get in. The rent was extremely low. Labor was low because it was only 32 seats. So I was the main pizza guy. I'd get there 4:30 every morning, make all the dough. And I had a couple high school kids helping me. And then competing for the last 30 years and going like 2 for 80, I was finally blessed to win some competitions in Vegas that started getting more recognition, more notice. And within 2 years, we tripled in sales, and we had a 2-hour wait. And I had to make a decision to go to the next level or just to stay here or stay where I was. But at the same point, am I going to lose business, not growing? And I rolled the dice. I talked to a lot of people in the industry, Tony being one of them. I had no credit. I had the money that I saved, and I wasn't even in business 2 years. And I went to the bank and I told them everything. I told them my past, and they just said, well, how are your numbers like this? I was running 12% labor, 20% food cost, and I was doing most of the work. Now, when we originally opened, I wanted to be the Chick-fil-A of pizza. What does that mean? We just did pizza. We did 4 or 5 styles of pizza. We did some appetizers, no pasta, no entrees, nothing. So that was one of the ways to keep labor down because you didn't have a lot of prep. And there was a piece of land about a football field away from 100 yards away from me that a friend of mine said, I can't wait on Tuesday night for your pizza. Like, you need to expand. And I said, I don't know. So I talked to the bank and I went to the expo. It was the first year I won traditional. I got back on Good Friday and I got a call and said I was approved for the loan. And then I can't even put Legos together. So I literally bought dirt, and with the help of my general manager, she was kind of like the GC because there was a lot of ins and outs that I didn't know about building, and she had some background. we've built this amazing place for the community and the staff.
Okay. Now you've mastered several different styles of pizza from New York to Sicilian. What is the specific hydration level and fermentation time that you find that works best for the Alabama climate?
That changes. That changes weekly and daily,
Okay.
especially in the summer, because it gets very humid out here, probably like Kentucky itself. So each dough has a different hydration. For example, our Sicilians is around 70 to 73% hydration. Our New York styles is anywhere from 63 to 68%. Our taverns are like 50%. So all of that comes in effect on a weekly, daily, monthly basis that I've educated my team. I've brought in people that are far more experienced and far more educated than me, like Mimo from Orlando Foods. Derek Sanchez helped me a lot. And of course, Tony Gemignani and some members of my team, because you're always changing something. I mean, Tony called me when he opened up in Tennessee and he's like, how do you get your Sicilians to rise? He's like, what's going on out here? And I just told him like some of the tricks that I do, because he was having a little issue like last year, because it is different than Vegas and other
Right.
parts.
You're making a lot in-house. Why make so much in-house rather than just outsource it, which is easier?
Because I don't want any processed food in my restaurant, and I want to make everything healthy. Example, Caputa Fowler, Don Bro made it non-bleached. Grande cheese, top quality. I'm not. I'm okay with one store for the rest of my life. I want more, but at the same time, I want to control everything. I want you to have an experience. I want you to fall in love, not with just ambiance, but with the food. I want you to eat and feel healthy and leave and go, I'm not bloated. I don't get sick from it. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
I really, and my staff, that we really care, really understand. It's like cooking home with Nana. I think it's just the same way. Like, yeah, I can get hot honey off the truck. Absolutely. I can get meatballs off the truck, but you're not going to get the meatballs off the truck that taste the same from Valentina's. That recipe is 50 plus years old from my grandmother. And I want people to experience that when they're here. And if it takes a little more time and it costs a little more, it's okay with me.
Now, what's going to be your top sellers on your menu? Do you sell just one style of pizza, or are you selling different styles of pizza?
So we sell New York style. We call it artisan. We took off New York, excuse me,
Okay.
because we do like the cornicello, like the thick crust. We're not really a New York style. It's neo New York, kind of in the middle. I don't like to say New York style. We do Sicilian style. We do Detroit style. We do tavern style. We do cauliflower, and we're bringing in gluten-free in the summer. So we do about 5 styles and that's what my vision was, to be like the Chick-fil-A. Do one thing and do it as great as you can. And then obviously we do our homemade desserts in-house. We make everything scratch in the kitchen, from our meatballs to our goat cheese balls, but keep the menu small and tight.
Okay. What's your top selling pizza?
I would say our top selling pizza would be the Godfather. Being in the
Okay.
South, it's our meat lovers. It has a meatball, pepperoni, bacon, sopressata, sweet sausage, hot sausage. That's probably by far. Yeah, the Hayden is very popular too. It's just the Godfather with peppers, mushroom, and onions. And then I would say third is the Cameroni. It is 2 styles pepperoni, cup and char and Old World, with house-made regatta, and then a house-made hot honey over the top. That's
Now,
what really good.
now, are you sourcing local when you can?
Absolutely. The farmer where we get the hot honeys across the street, we get produce. We're actually in the middle of trying to build a greenhouse, because we have extra land on the side where we can get our own produce.
When you develop a new pizza like the Godfather, are you creating it with competition judges in mind, or is it strictly for the customer's palate? Or are you just lucky if it does both?
No, I focus on the customers. I separate competition pizzas from my place.
Okay.
So it's two different uh, two different avenues for me. When I'm working on a pizza for here, I'm figuring out what the area would love. But when I'm going to a competition, it's not something on my menu. It's never has been.
Oh,
It's
really?
totally. Yes, and I stick to my guns on that.
So you're not menuing your award winners?
Well, when they win, they go to the menu. Absolutely.
Okay. Okay. I see.
I'm not focusing on what's on my menu for the competition because the judges that are judging the pizza are not from Alabama. So if I put something on there that might be a little more twisted for the area, and of course, when you go to Ohio or Vegas or Italy, you have to know your region. You have to know where you're going, where those judges are from. So I try to play to that, and I've been doing that for 30 plus years. Tony taught me that. So they're totally two different. The dough is different. I mean, it's a complete different operation.
Right. What kind of ovens are you baking in? Are you baking in decks?
Marsal electric ovens, and then a
Okay.
Marsal wood fired.
Okay. How do they impart different flavors?
Well, wood fired, you're going to get that more of a wood charred cook. It's going to be cooking in shorter time. So you're going to get more of a chewier. Whereas in the electric oven, we're cooking around 600 as opposed to 700. And it's going to be light, crispy, airy. It's going to have the undercarriage. It's not going to drop. It's going to fold. Whereas the Neapolitan style on the pizza food truck is totally different.
Okay. What kind of ovens are you using in the food truck?
The Neapolitan Mariforne.
Okay. Those are good. Those are
Yeah.
really nice. What was the philosophy behind the wine bar side of the business? How do you curate a wine list that stands up to that bold, acidic tomato sauces that you're selling? Are you selling Stanislaus?
Chow and
Okay.
Stanley. I use them both.
Okay. So tell me about the wine bar side of the business.
Sure. You bring in the best of the best in the world. Niles Peacock. He's a mixologist and a level 2 sommelier. He came in and created one of the best wine menus that are and cocktail menus that are out there. We were just named top 50 best cocktail menu. We paired up together. I made some pizzas. He's like Tony when it comes to cocktails. He's a mixologist. He's like Doc from Back to the Future. If you ever get a chance to speak to him, you'll be blown away. Extremely educated, came in, educated my staff. We did a tasting with the pizzas. And then after he tasted all the pizzas, we sat down, we went to the store. He said, this is what we need to get. Let's meet with the wine vendors. Because I know my limits. I know where I'm very experienced and I'm not experienced. And I don't think that's a bad thing. I think that's good to be open. And he came in and he helped myself and my staff. And he really elevated our wine menu, our cocktail menu.
Okay, so you are selling spirits as well.
Yeah, we have a full cocktail menu, wine menu, and beer and wine.
Okay. What sells more?
Cocktails.
Really? Mixed drinks?
Yes.
Okay,
Everything is made in-house from scratch. We make our own Ferlanum. Everything we make, the sour, we make it all in-house. Everything is made in here. Barrel aged Manhattan, we have the barrels in there. I would say the Smoking Gun is a fan favorite here. The Netflix Chill is another big one. I mean, and this is not me. Again, this is Niles coming in, educating me on this. Because you got to remember, I was pizza,
Yeah.
and he opened my world to this. In fact, my bartender, who has won back-to-back best bartender in Alabama, is taking the test to be a level 1 sommelier in March because our vision is to have him on a Friday night walking around, help selling wine. I wanted to elevate this place. I don't want it just to be a pizza place. If you ever, and you're always welcome to come here, when you walk in, that's not what you're going to think. It's not a pizza place. I mean, from the hostess in dresses to the bartenders in bow ties to every single server looks the exact same way to the pizza guys in the kitchen and in the front, chef coats, hat, white apron. We all look the same because I believe all that comes together when you're serving a good cocktail with a good pizza.
Just a step above, yeah, in everything. Every level
Exactly.
is a step above. Well, you could have just a regular normal pizzeria. Why do that when you can stand out?
And that's what our goal is. The standard is the standard here. We're not worried about what everybody else is doing. We're worried about what Valentina's is doing, how Valentina's could be better.
What was the biggest culture shock for you when you faced when moving your pizza expertise from the Northeast to the Huntsville, Madison area?
Probably that there wasn't a lot of mom and pops, and it's chain driven, and educating people on quality. When I came down here to help Totoro's open, I noticed that there's just Papa John's, Marco's, Little Caesars, like every corner, every shopping center, and there's very little mom and pops. They're growing now. Mellow Mushroom, a big chain. And that was like a culture shock. And that was a shock to see that people, you have to educate because they don't know what quality is. They don't know what good food is. And everybody thinks pizza is a cheap food. And it's not. This is not the 80s. And it's okay to make the pizza a little more expensive if you're using quality ingredients. And it took some time, but
Yeah.
we have gained a following by using good ingredients, fresh ingredients, healthier ingredients.
And yes, it's a little bit more expensive,
Of course, absolutely.
but you have to teach them that it's more expensive for a reason.
Right.
Right. As Valentina grows in popularity, how do you ensure that every pizza leaving the kitchen meets your world champion standards when you aren't the one stretching the dough? You're in-house, but you've got other pizza makers now, right?
I do, but I just promoted my bartender to director of operations who owned 2 pizzerias, who's been to Vegas, who's competed, who has worked timelessly with myself and my general manager on the quality and control. When I have consultants come in, they teach him, hey, this is what we're going for. Then he instills it into the pizza chefs that we have here. I'm also here every day. Might not make every pizza, but I watch every pizza that goes out. And everybody in Valentina's is held accountable. And what do I mean by that? There's pictures of everything all over this place, from the expo line to the pizza line to the kitchen. Overcooked, undercooked, burnt. It doesn't go. It has more than 2 eyes are looking at it. There's a point system that if, no mistakes this way on this person, you get a point, you get a point. And what is that followed up with? Employee of the month, employee of the year. And that's not a little thing. It could be $500. It could be a trip to Bahamas. Like, so we have 100%, like, we need you to care. This is not just another pizza place. I invested in a full-time life coach for my staff and myself to ensure that, like, hey, we're going for top 50. We're going for Michelin star pizza. We want to be best in hospitality. We want to be best in the product that we're putting out. So it's hard to hire people like that. But at the same time, I don't believe it's the people you hire. I think it's the management and owners. For example, I feel that you can take a kid out of McDonald's, put him into Chick-fil-A system, and he'll be successful. So is it the kid or is it the system? It's the system. So I hold myself 150% accountable when anything goes wrong, and I hold my management. So you need systems, structure, and you need culture. It needs to be a place where people want to come to work. They want to have fun. They want to learn. They want to have a career here. All that matters into making the best quality pizza, into getting to go to Vegas, into winning a competition. It's not just flour, dough, water. Yeah, they make a great pizza. Everything together makes it successful.
Now, you have a strong personal brand. How much of the restaurant's success do you attribute to social media and your world champion titles versus simple word of mouth?
Well, I mean, I would say it's word of mouth. Like when I won the last 3 years, the prior 3 years, not this past year because I didn't compete, there was an influx. But here's the thing: you get an influx for 3 months. If you don't hold on to it, it's going to go away because you're going to get new people. So you can't rely on, yeah, I won awards, yeah, it helped business, but my staff is the one that kept the business, not me. I work for my staff. My staff doesn't work for me. We need to get that straight. That's number one. Yes, I win these awards, but it's not about Joe. If Joe dies tomorrow, Valentina's will still be successful because they carry that every day. Because when I win an award, it doesn't last a year. It lasts 3 to 4 weeks when you get some TV, when you're in a newspaper, when you're on a podcast. But after that smoke and mirror goes away, you got to rely on your team. They got to carry the torch for you. So I might win an award, but I'm nobody to this place. My staff is the reason that we're successful. My general manager, my director of operations, my life coach, the systems that I want that they put in place, and of course my employees. And it's not an easy job because you're dealing with multi-personalities coming in. I can go out, my GM can go out and win in Vegas, or director of operations that are competing in Vegas. They can win. We could have a nice 3-month bump. But if we don't handle that bump and it's chows and it's mistakes, then what?
Right.
That award means nothing. It's just a plaque on the wall. And then when you put a plaque on a wall, when you put a world champion on the wall, you know what you're doing? You're putting a bullseye on every single employee that you have, because you're saying every pizza that comes out here is world champion. So think about how much more pressure is on your staff now, on your pizza person, because you won an award. You're a 9-time. So when you say 9-time world pizza champion and you plaster all these, it's great. Don't get me wrong. But my employees have bullseyes for new customers. Oh, I read about this. I read you're the world champion. I read about, is this the world champion quality? So there's a lot of pressure on them.
Okay.
Right or wrong?
Right, absolutely.
Pizza place, there's no expectations. You come to Valentina's and you see all these awards on the wall, all these trophies, all these write-ups. So now that server going to the table, that customer has expectations of nothing but excellence.
Yes. What is a unique under the radar ingredient that you think will be the next big thing in the pizza world this year? What are you seeing as a new ingredient? That's a fun question.
I can't say that right now because we're using it in the competition.
Oh, shoot. Okay.
But I'll tell you the competition if we win with it.
Okay. Vegetable, meat, or something else? Can you tell me that? Is it vegetable or meat or...
I don't want to give it away. But,
don't give it away. Don't give it away. That's okay. Well, I have one more question, and that is, I always ask this as my last question. If you had a piece of advice, having done this for many years, given to a fledgling operator who's maybe just starting to put their pizzeria into fruition, into bringing it to life, what would you tell them? What's the one thing you did wrong that you would encourage a fledgling operator to do right?
Oh, I've done a ton wrong. Ignorance, pride, but that was 30 plus years ago. I mean, there's so much out there, from Pizza Expo, from consultants to YouTube. Do your research, ask, read. Like back in the 80s, you didn't have all this. We couldn't do a podcast. They can listen to your podcast and learn from everybody that you talk to about it. But you have to be able to put your pride aside and say, I don't know anything. And, I've been competing for 30 years and my record's probably 5-40, 5-100, 5 or 9, whatever it is, and lost thousands of competitions. Put that aside. That doesn't mean you're a horrible pizza maker.
Okay.
That has nothing to do. Being successful is having a successful pizzeria for many years, employing people, keep them employed, and have customers coming back. That's how you know you're successful. But there's so many tools out there now, all over the internet, that you can go and do your research. And you're going to have to grease your elbows a little or get them dirty, and you have to put your time in. That means you're going to have to sacrifice weddings, birthdays, relationships, if you truly want to succeed and you truly want to learn. Because if you're thinking this is going to be a 9-to-5 job, then this is not for you. It's just not. I mean, Mike Bosch is a perfect example of how you can learn from somebody. He has over 200 plus employees. He's putting out videos that you could sign up for. Like, why wouldn't you just listen? Yeah, it might cost some money, but you're going to put money up for a restaurant, 200 or pizzeria, 200, 300, 400,000. If whatever that price is to you isn't worth listening to somebody as successful as Mike, Nick Bogaz, Nicole Bean, all these people, then don't do it. And that's the problem with mom and pops, and that's the difference between chains. If you think about it, we're always scrounging. We don't have enough. It's going to run labor high. Well, I'd rather run labor high and take a course from Mike Bosch, and then in 5 years put my labor where it goes, or whatever it has to, get trainings in, get systems into place. I mean, you can't sit here and say anything about Domino's when they have thousands of stores. I'm not saying it's great pizza, but obviously they have systems in place, right? So if you're a new operator in this day and age, and just because you can make a pizza at home, well, you have to make 1,500 pizzas at home. And you have to deal with humidity, power going out, employees, stealing. There's a lot more than, oh, I make pizzas at home. It's better than the pizza shop down the road. But you
Right.
don't know what that guy's going through down the road.
Yeah.
So I would say do your research. Like really do your research and see like if this is what your path, because it's not just what you want to do. Is it your passion? My passion is to see people happy, make people around me better, and help my staff grow.
Okay, well, we are out of time. Joe, thanks so much for being with us today. This has been really educational.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
That'll do it for this episode of the Pizza Marketplace podcast, and we'll catch you next time.